This is a story that almost so many of you would have heard at some point or other with some motivational speaker or the other. It's called the Starfish story. It goes this way, that a very wise old man was taking a walk early morning on the beach, and he was taking in all the beauty of the early morning, the rising sun, the peaceful sounds of the waves crashing into the sand, and the feel of the sand on his feet. And he was immensely enjoying the whole time. And as he kept walking, at a very far distance, he thought he saw a figure that was dancing. And he laughed to himself. Who would be dancing at such early time, way early in the morning? And as he walked a little closer, he realized that it was not a figure. It was a little boy, maybe about 11, 12 years old. And he wasn't dancing. He was doing something very weird. He was bending down, picking up something from the beach, and he was tossing it back into the sea. And the wise old man was extremely surprised. As he went closer, he noticed that this little boy was picking up the starfish that was strewn across the beach, and he was throwing the starfish back into the water. He stopped and asked him, "My dear child, what's going on? Why are you doing this?" And the young boy smiles and says, "Sir, the tide is very low, and yesterday night when the tide was high, it brought a lot of starfish out here onto the beach. And now there is no way for them to go back onto the water. And so they are dying. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up the starfish and I'm throwing it back into the water so that they can survive." And this wise old man just smiled and he laughed, just like wise old men do. And he looked at this young boy full of energy, full of passion and full of motivation, and felt sad that he did not know how futile his attempt was. And so he said to him, "My dear child, just look at this beach. Look at the number of starfish strewn aside over here. You can't possibly make a difference. How can you put them all back into the water?" And hearing this young child, just 12 years old, said nothing, but he silently bent down, picked up one more starfish, threw it back into the water, and he said, "I made a difference to that one." And this left the wise old man so stunned, and he realized that when he, the wise man, the man that knew so much, the one with maturity and wisdom and so much knowledge and experience, was ignoring what little difference he could make, this young boy of 12 years old was actually going about and doing what he could and making whatever little difference that he could. And so, come the next morning, the wise old man joined the young boy in actually throwing the starfish back in the water. I remember when in Hyderabad, in botanical gardens, me and my friend used to take a walk every Sunday. And when we were walking the 3 kilometers path within, we would see this gentleman, the mask in hand, proper latex gloves, the one that you actually use against chemicals, and with a stick with which he would start picking up the garbage around the 3 kilometers inside path and start putting it into a trash bag. And he said, when we stopped him and asked him, "What are you doing?" he said that it's difficult for these people to take care of it continuously because there are so many people walking and they keep dropping stuff. So when I do my first walk of the day in these 3 kilometers, I decide to pick it all up. And me and my friend was so stunned because we would look at people dropping in little things, pieces of paper or chocolate wrappers when they're taking their kids in the walk inside. And sometimes we would crib that they don't understand the environment, and sometimes we would tell them, "Why don't you pick it up? Why are you leaving that?" And they would give us this stone cold stare and we would just walk by. We would not pick it up because we would say, "Well, we're walking and we can't have that trash in our hands right now." That is also a time when I remembered the starfish story. Than just trying to see what's happening and to be an observer in life, this gentleman was choosing to actually pick up the trash. Just like the wise old man also realized that the young boy was making a difference. So here's what I take away from these stories, and I try to remember that and try and act. And I say I try because I'm still not there yet. That each time I do not look at how much is it, how small is this in the larger sphere of things, but I look at what is the one difference that I can make at this point of time. Can you make a difference to one starfish at that point of time? If so, you're doing a great job. And not only that, just like the little boy, And just like this gentleman, you can actually inspire many others, because the next week when we walked up, the next Sunday when we walked up to him and we told him, why don't you sit and we will do one round and collect this for you. And we intended to continue doing that with him. But of course, life had its own decisions. The pandemic happened and time took away, and we don't go to the botanical gardens so much now. That was a learning for me anywhere in life right now. When I see something happening, instead of thinking about it as something that's just too small a difference, I look at it as one difference, and I look at it as how can I inspire others to actually do the same. And being a role model is the biggest influence that we can be for generations to come. In personal life, as well as at work, as a leader, it's an extremely powerful tool that you could use. And so, here's me, Revati Turaga from the Leadership Unlocked channel, actually telling you to choose to actually inspire others and act to make even a small difference in any space. Please like, share, subscribe, and come back to watch again. Thank you.